What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who have been watching me for a while now, you know something I always say on this channel is patience is key. Waiting to see what the product's going to turn out to be, and then going ahead and critiquing accordingly. And a lot of people have been jumping the gun with a lot of things regarding Battlefield 6, including the server browser, but here we are, and we got some more official information about how it's going to work, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be happy with this. Again, I stated this before, but from what I heard previously, it seems like, Portal is just the server browser, right? We all know it as a server browser, but it's going to be kind of rebranded, named into Portal, but technically, it's everything we want, plus more. A lot of people have been worried, they've been stressed, they've been saying, we're not going to get a server browser, it's not going to function properly, so on and so forth. But, as I stated, we got some more information about how this is going to work, and I'm pretty dang happy with this. As you can see right here from David Serland, it's quite amazing to install the open beta of your game on your personal PC for the first time, and see this amount of people wanting to play. Wow, I'm very humbled and happy. And also, guys, it's a sad day. The open beta closed today, so man, oh man, no more Battlefield 6 for me. Back over to Splitgate 2. But again, don't forget, this Thursday is going to be coming on back. But in response to this is by Felipe saying, I'm not sure if this is up to you, but there really needs to be some way to matchmake with +4 groups on official servers, especially with lobbies disbanding after every match. It is a frustrating experience to make everyone join again, and I completely agree with this. As someone who, always hosts open lobbies over on stream, I love getting as many people into the game as possible, and it's kind of sucky when the game resets every time. You got to go back into matchmaking, which means everybody that joined in on you has to go back into matchmaking as well, and it's hard to get back into the server. It's fun when everybody can just join in. It's a big populated server, and it just keeps recycling again and again and again. But David Sterling goes ahead and responds to this saying, that is what we have been harping about. The Portal browser is basically enabling that, plus map playlists, and in a persistent way too. It's not that I stumbled upon a cool server in my city server browser, but for organized play, it sure hits the mark. And in response to this by Laytrace, they say, what's the gameplay benefit limiting it only to Portal though? Having to matchmake for a new server at the end of the round is so jarring and lacks guaranteed map variety for the player. Having played 2042, I'm not convinced a small player base using Portal is a solution to this. And David Sterling went ahead and responded by saying, it's a server browser. It contains servers, some are custom experiences, some are verified, which is what most are looking for on this topic. The combination of the pool of the persistent servers and the spun up ones is not very useful. Matchmaking servers spin up in seconds, get filled with players, and spin down after a game is over. That couple of seconds, plus when servers lose a lot of players mid-game, is the only time you could join, which makes it a tricky combination and full of queuing to join issues. We think the current setup gives us the best of both worlds, as you could choose to go spin up a server through regular matchmaking, or find an existing server that is already running, or create your own as well. We'll soon be testing the server browser so you can experience it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is some very juicy news, and exactly what I wanted to go ahead and hear. I'm going to go ahead and rewind just a little bit here, but, as David Sterling stated himself, it's a server browser. It contains servers, some are custom experiences, some are verified. People have been begging about this time and time and time again, saying they're not going to be able to play any of the verified servers within the server browser, and that's all they want out of the experience. But apparently, right here, you are going to be able to go ahead and do so. I'm assuming you're either going to be able to play some of the official servers that are up and active at the moment, or you'll be able to go ahead and make your own custom version of these servers. And of course, you can tweak and change any of the settings to your, whatever you like. But if you want it to be exactly how the official servers are, you could probably go ahead and do so and host a public lobby, which, again, in Portal, you're allowed to go ahead and use XP. You see, a lot of people have been confused about Portal because I think they're scarred by 2042 and they think it's going to be another one of those situations. Portal was very bare bone. It didn't have anything, and at the end of the day, it wasn't a true server browser. But time and time and time again, the developer stated that everything that we have been concerned about, Portal is going to go ahead and redeem. And I stated in my previous video, like I said earlier in this video too, the way they make it sound is that Portal is literally a server browser. So instead of calling it a server browser, it's now named Portal. And as I said time and time and time again, patience is key. I know it's named Portal. I know it doesn't sound like what you're familiar with, but give it a little time. We haven't even seen what the server browser even looks like. Nobody wanted to listen. Everybody's saying this is the end of the world, Battlefield's doomed, no server browser whatsoever. Although the devs, directly said, Portal serves all the purposes that we're worried about, plus some. And here we are with more information, and it debunks it even further. Now, of course, as I always say, this doesn't confirm anything. Until we actually get hands-on, we'll see, but it's still just words. But they keep pushing for the same narrative, that Portal serves all purposes. Whether you want official servers, whether you want custom servers, and I'm assuming the filter is going to be very in-depth, fine-tuned, that will allow you to find whatever you are looking for. And that is huge, because, again, for someone like me, who wants to play with a bunch of my friends, having 4-man squads kind of sucks, and if Portal works the way that they are describing, that means we'll be able to go ahead and expand on that. Our friends will be able to find the servers that we are in quicker. And sadly, I'm assuming they'll still end and recycle and shuffle everybody around. But it'll just make the experience 10 times easier to make sure that we can all play under the same umbrella. And the best part about this all, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are indeed going to be going ahead and testing it. Now, sadly, I'm assuming this is not going to be tested in the second open beta. And also, for those who are curious, the second upcoming beta that's going to be happening on Thursday, I believe it begins, is not going to be anything crazy. It's going to be the same exact build that we played, previously in the first open beta. So all of the changes, like, for example, Assault having the respawn beacon, or engineers not being able to have 2 different sets of equipment so they can rock, lock-on rockets and regular RPGs. All these changes are not going to be present, just so you guys know that. And the next map we're going to be, having in the rotation is still going to be a smaller style of map. So we're not going to see any of the larger maps just yet in the second open beta. But sadly, I'm assuming we're not going to be able to test out the server browser either there. What I'm assuming is it's going to take place in the lab. And hopefully a lot of the people who are in the lab will be able to, give a lot of feedback. Because from what I've seen so far, everything within Battlefield 6, the reason that this game is turning out the way that it is because of the feedback that the community has given within the lab, and also the passion of the overall community. So I'm hoping that within the lab, this community will continue to push with that passion and get the server browser that we all deserve. Because let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the matchmaking system isn't the end of the world, right? It's very casual, very laid back. It's exactly like 2042. But not having a server browser still has its negatives. Being put into servers that are completely out of your region instead of being able to pick the best ping for yourself. Playing on the same map over and over and over again. Whereas if you have a server browser, you can join into a server and there's a rotation of maps are going on. So if a map plays, you're more than likely not going to see it anytime soon, allowing you to, see the rest of the rotation within the game. There's a lot of things that will benefit the overall community with having a server browser. So we need to push for this. And the way the developers are describing it, it sounds exactly like that. But we can't let off the gas pedal just yet. We have to keep ramming it home. As I stated, patience is key. We don't know what it's going to be like until we actually get hands-on. But for anybody who is testing, anybody that's in the labs, that gets to witness what the server browser is and how it functions, make sure you give your 2 cents and keep speaking the truth. Because as I stated before, that's exactly why Battlefield 6 is in the position that it's in. The community has spoken. They're very vocal about their opinions within this franchise. They want what they want. And DICE has been very willing to work with us for the first time in a long time. So do it. Let them know, and hopefully we can get this situated. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I just wanted to share this server browser news with you all because I know this community has been very on edge in terms of the server browser. It's been stressing a lot of people out when it comes to this game. And the second that I saw this information, I had to go ahead and report on it. So here you guys go. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you think this is good? Do you think it's bad? Do you believe in DICE? Do you think they're going to actually give us a true server browser? Or do you think that they are, at the end of the day, going to screw us over and give us something that is actually just garbage? But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And sometimes we even go ahead and double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We post Call of Duty, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, pretty much anything FPS or even third-person shooter related. So, of course, if you guys want to keep up to date with everything on this channel, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, once Thursday comes around, we are going to be diving right back on deep into the Battlefield 6 beta. So, of course, if you guys are interested in any of that content, and if you want to keep up to date with any of my streams, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.